All right, everyone. Well, Monday morning went pretty much according to plan. I'm sitting at 4 times my daily goal. Right now, I am at $21,650.25. And as I said for my watch list yesterday, the plan today would be to watch stocks with news. This morning, SYTA comes out with breaking news. The price of the stock's at about $1.25. It screams up to $1.50, $1.75, up to $2, $2.25, $2.50, over 100% in 10 minutes. Boom, that was my first trade of the day. With that, I broke the ice, I got green, I hit my daily goal. Well, within $300 of the $5,000 daily goal. I'm up $4,700 on SYTA. And then I was ready for the next stock that came up. So I was watching very closely, top and the bottom of the hour for breaking news. We had a couple more breaking news trades, and boom, next thing you know, I'm up 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 in the green, sitting here with a really nice day. So this month of October is now, I think, officially my best month of the year. And what's exciting is, well, we still have over a week left. I didn't import my trades from Friday yet, so I was up 40,000 on Friday, 20,000 here today, so that was 100, and so that's 230, 240, $250,000 of profit on the month of October with more than a week left. And the plan for tomorrow is going to be the exact same as the plan for today, to watch stocks that have news. Now, if we look at our scans right here, we can see our leading percentage gainer, GNPX, is up 213%. Second leading gapper, BIVI, this one's up 142%. GRI up 130%. SYTA up 123%. 4 stocks up over 100%. Yes, this is hot market stuff. This is what I like to see. Now, I had to be careful today not to overstay my welcome, because that was well, I don't want to say it was a mistake, but that's something I did on several days last week. I pushed it, look, you have a nice big green day, you try to get aggressive, you try to scale up, size up, and gave back some profit. So today, I'm actually closing just under my high of day. I crossed over 22,000. I gave back 600 on drug, whatever. Not a big deal, but that was actually the only stock I'm red on today. But you know what? Let's go back to the first trade of the day, and then we're also going to talk a little bit more kind of about how I'm going to be approaching the market in the coming days. Okay, so first trade of the day, we're going to go back here. Sat down at my computer at about 6:45, and GRI was the first stock I traded. It was the leading percentage gainer at that time. So coming into 7 a.m., I was watching GRI to see if we would continue higher, because if you look at this chart, coming into 7 a.m., first of all, this one was strong Friday after hours. It continued pre-market here Monday morning, pushes up to $1.80, comes back down to $1.40, back up to $1.80, up to $2 right in here, and coming right into the top of the hour at 7 a.m., I was watching it in this area. So what I ended up doing at 7 a.m. was, this is 7 right here. So see this kind of spike of volume? So I bought a position right here at $2. And what I thought here maybe would happen is we hit about 225 just before 7 a.m. Then we dipped down. I was like, I'm going to get in this at about $1.99, $2, and I'm looking for that rip back up. So kind of a dip and a rip, almost like a red to green move at the 7 a.m. kind of when retail traders come online moment. Anyways, that didn't work. Got out of it with $59.62 of profit. Okay, is it a home run? No. Is it a base hit? Barely. It's a break-even trade. All right, so that's a break-even trade. First trade of the day on GRI. And then we had SYTA. Now, SYTA initially, when it first hit my scanners, it was at about $1.18. And I said, I'm not sure. Here's my problem. First candle, light volume. Second candle, higher volume, and it was red. We hit a high of $1.22, and there were already sellers on the level 2 at $1.22, $1.25. So I thought, if there's already sellers on this, I don't think that's good. So it did have fresh news. T-Mobile to offer SYTA's new mission critical over 5G cellular radios for first responders, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, we've got a news catalyst, that's fine. But I'm familiar with SYTA. We've traded it before. It's got some higher volume red days. It's a stock that's been beaten up for a long time. The daily chart's not bad for a curl. You've got reverse splits, lots of room to the 200 moving average, but it's a little cheaper. you know, I don't usually do as well when they're under $2. So when it first hits my scans, I'm thinking, I don't know. You know, I'm not sure. I said, maybe over $1.25, not sure. Breaks $1.25, goes to $1.30, and there's more sellers. So a little topping tail candle. I'm like, I don't know. Then it goes to $1.40. I'm like, wow, now I kind of, I don't know. Let's see what it does. Goes up to $1.50. I'm like, gosh darn it. Breaks $1.50. And what I did here was I took my first trade at $1.52. As we broke over the psychological resistance of $1.50, I said, as long as it holds over $1.50, I'll get in here at 52, stop is 49. So got in with, you know, about a 3-cent stop. That was kind of my mental stop. If it breaks below the $0.50, I'm going to get out. And it goes up to 65, and then it pushes a little higher here, up to 75, up to 80, and all the way up to 223. So I took this first trade here to $1.50, and then this was a micro pullback right there, and then there was another little micro pullback right under $2. Got a high of 220. So ended up locking up $4,700 on SYTA, and that was in less than 10 minutes. So now it's 10 past 7, and I've already hit my daily goal. All right, so if I hit my daily goal that early, should I just walk away? Should I call it a day? Hey, green is good. I trade for 10 minutes. No reason to overstay your welcome. No, that's not what I like to do. Now, as a beginner trader, I think it's really important to lock up your daily goal, especially when you're in your first 3 months, first 6 months of trading, because you don't want to risk giving it back. So you want to take your profit, take it off the table, live to trade another day. For a seasoned trader who knows how to capitalize on a hot market, when you hit your daily goal in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's a day when you've got the potential to 4x or even 10x your daily goal or higher. And so although SYTA did push a little bit higher, I think I might have gotten one more trade on it. But in any case, I was ready for the next stock. And so SYTA did, by the way, end up giving us a little bit of a jackknife right here. And then it sort of pulls back, pops up, high volume selling here at the open. Another little jackknife right here. So I didn't take any trades on it past the opening bell. I said, I don't want to overstay my welcome. So that's SYTA. The next one, let's see, that I traded was, it was probably ISPC, but let me just check. So I got all those trades on SYTA. And then ISPC, yeah, that was the next one. So ISPC, this one was kind of interesting. When I was first sitting down looking at the scans, I noticed it. It was on the scanners. It was gapping up a little bit. And I thought, well, okay, kind of interesting. You know, it popped up after hours, Friday, popped up, dropped down, rips back up, and then kind of closes here. So I was like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. There was some news on it, but FIOS to sell 1.2 million shares of common stock. So I was like, all right, so, you know, we have news, but, you know, is this really, that's not typically a strong catalyst. So I was sort of, you know, I was like, I don't know, not sure about this. But all of a sudden it starts hitting my scanners, right? So all of a sudden this thing rips up and it's tapping, you know, 550, 580, 590, $6. I pull it up. I'm saying to myself, 400,000 share float. That's less than 1 million shares. It obviously is still kind of continuation from Friday because it had this pop and all this action. So I jumped in, starter position at 611, got a partial fill adding at 617, and a partial fill trying to add at 618. All of a sudden, it's hitting 7. So now I add, so this is the example that I gave you in the game plan yesterday, where because of how quickly this went straight from 6 to 7, I didn't take profit when it hit 7. It goes to 750 and I'm adding at 734 and 750. Now I'm just like, I'm already up $1 a share. Let's see how high this thing wants to go. So next thing you know, it's printing $8 and it goes right through 8. So I added 842 for the break of 850. It goes up to 850. It goes up to 890. And I actually took some profit at $9.12. The high on this candle right here was 921. But I also added as high, my highest add on this was it was actually 897. So I kept adding. And then once it slowed down, it came up to 9. There was a seller. So I tried to take some profit, and then in the next 1 minute candle, it dropped all the way back down to a low of 535. Now, because I took my starter at 6, my cost basis was about 763. So from 763 to about 863, we get this flush, and I had to stop out. So I did make profit on the first trade, but not as much as I thought I would. I made much more as the day went on. We just had this spike, and then all of a sudden it drops all the way back down. I had to stop out. And some of it I was stopping out for a loss. So I was able to sell some break even, some for small profit, and some was a loss. So first trade on this, I made about $6,000. So now I'm up about 11,000 on the day. And I'm like, double the daily goal? That's not bad. Now it rips back here up to 9. It drops back down. It rips back up again to a high of 9, hits 928 right there. So all of a sudden we get this, really like nice range. So in this area here, like right in here, you're getting a move from 8 to 9, $1 a share candles. Right down here, break a VWAP, 50 cents a share. Obviously the bounce from there to there. I mean, there were just so many opportunities on this to jump in and out and grab 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents a share. So I did that a bunch of times, took a bunch of trades on it. At the open, it dips down. I was watching here for a possible trade, but it didn't work. Came back down, halted down, and then that's been it. So locked up 17,000 on ISPC. And you know what? If this had breaking news right here, that could have gone to $12 or $14, just like some of the others from last week. But it didn't have fresh breaking news. So I jumped on the momentum. I got a base hit and then got a couple more, basically the equivalent of 3 or 4 base hits. First move and then the second bounce and then this retest here of the high. But it just wasn't quite able to really pull away. And I think that's because it didn't have news. So anyways, that's all right. Got some trades on it. No big deal. Next stock, let's see. So next stock after ISPC was drug. All right. So drug, this one, Friday obviously makes this impressive move, goes all the way up to $75 a share, whatever it was. This morning, pre-market, it pops up to 59. It pulls back. It comes back up right here. It pulls back. I got in right there. I got into 250 shares at $60 a share. I then added another 200 shares. So I had like 450 shares. And I was looking for this move up to 65 and thinking, if it just starts to pull away, maybe we'll retest this level up here. So that's kind of what I was looking for on it. It didn't work. Stopped out, lost $1 a share. I got back in, lost 50 cents a share on the add back. So I was like, all right, that's 2 losses on DRUG drug. I don't need to overstay my welcome. I already knew this was going to be riskier, which is why I only traded it with super small size. But I thought maybe if it pulled away, I could get a nice trade. So anyways, that was kind of the idea there. And then the last trade of the day was on BIVI. So BIVI, this one's kind of interesting. So, a move starts after hours Friday, right? So then pre-market, we continue, but coming into 7 a.m., we were already selling off. And then there was profit taking at 7 a.m. And I sort of predicted this. I thought that there'd be profit taking here because I thought anyone that held over the weekend, hoping for a big gap up, would take profit at 7 a.m. because that's when they're able to start trading if they're using a retail broker. So then it kind of rallies up here, and I'm not interested. It's just too choppy. And then it does this rip right here up to a halt over 5. Now, if we look at that on a 10-second chart, what's kind of interesting here on this is that it had already attempted once and rejected, came up again and then rejected, up again, rejected, up again, rejected. So a couple of rejections, and finally it holds over 450, goes to 460, goes up to 480, micro pullback right there, and I that would have been a good trade. I mean, I'm saying that, obviously, it's easy to say that in hindsight, but that would have been a nice trade. These were both micro pullbacks, and this goes into a halt. Then on resumption, it opens a little low, dips for a second, and rips up all the way to 620, and then pushes a little higher. So a couple of, really kind of nice moves right there. Then it pulls back, pushes a little higher up to 750. I did a dip trade on it, and I did a dip down here. And the reason I did that was because I noticed a 40,000 share buyer sitting on the bid. 40,000 shares on the bid, and I thought, that's a pretty big buy order. So I got in, and it did pop up a teeny bit, but not as much as I thought it would. So it came back down. That buy order was still there. someone sold shares to that buyer. And then there were more buyers at 6, another 40,000, another 40,000 at like 580. And they got sold into as well. So someone bought a lot of shares of this, probably at least 150,000. And I don't know if it's like, is this going to be the next drug? I was kind of wondering if this would. So I was like, well, I'll keep it on watch. But, you know, the thing for me is that we're getting a little bit further into the morning. We're not at the high of day. So, you know, it's getting a little riskier. You know, it's pretty crowded also. So trying to read the tape on it is difficult because it's so thickly traded. It's just, there's a lot of hidden buyers, a lot of hidden sellers, 83 million shares of volume. You know, it's going to be a little tricky in here. So I like the idea, but also you do have the 200 moving average up here at 876. And look, last week I had several days where I gave back 20% off the top. So today I'm pretty much walking away at the top, 21,000. That's a really solid day. That's a really solid start to the week. So now I've got my cushion on the day. I've got my cushion on the week. In fact, I've already beaten my weekly goal, which is 15,000 a week. So 15,000 a week, 60,000 a month, you know, $720,000 a year approximately. And this year I'm already over $1 million. So I'm ahead of it, but I'm keeping my goal pretty much the same because it feels good just to break the goal. I could set the bar higher, but then if I come up short, I feel disappointed. So right now I'm just keeping my goal the same, 5,000 a day, you know, if I can, and 15,000 a week is the daily goal times 3. I figure I'll have one red day each week, and you know that cancels out one green day. So weekly goal is the daily goal times 3. And yeah, right now I'm just gonna keep chipping away and see how good of a month October can be. I didn't see this coming, but now that it's picked up, I know that the stocks I'm going to do the best on are stocks that have the potential to go up $5 to $10 per share. So that's not impossible on BIVI if it breaks through the high and holds that level, that we could get a move up towards 12 or something like that, the way we did on drug. So I don't want to write it off completely. This one's still on watch. It's still a maybe. Float is similar as drug, 4 million shares for both of them. You know, it's a biotech stock. So, you know, we've got some sort of similar things going for us here. But shorts might not let themselves get caught the way they did on drug. So for that reason, I don't know that it's going to happen. 200 moving average being a resistance point and just me not wanting to get back profits, probably enough for me not to take any more trades on it. But, you know, again, we'll see if it really starts to pull away. But generally, the areas where I tend to be most likely to catch a 5 to 10 point move is as soon as a stock comes out with breaking news. So yes, that could happen after hours. So I could stick around today for an after hours trade, but I generally find that after hours, it's harder to get in and out. There's just not as much liquidity. Not as many people are trading that time of day. So I don't think I should stick around and try to do after hours. I also know I'm easily triggered because if I have a great day like this and then, you know, I sit with $21,000 of profit for 6 hours and then I come back at 4 o'clock and take a trade and lose half of it, there's a much greater sense of loss having had this for as long as I had and then losing it than if I just lost it like right now and walked away. So I don't want to get triggered. I think it's better this today to start the week with, you know, just some solid trades like I already did and not overstay my welcome. But yeah, so I think the next best chance for me will be pre-market tomorrow. Breaking news, 7 a.m., 7:30, 8, 8:39. You know, sometimes we get breaking news at 7:15 or 7:45, 8:15, 8:45. I mean, you know, occasionally it's at random times, but breaking news spikes on stocks with floats of under 5 million shares is what I'm going to be focusing on. And certainly a stock with a lower float, I'll pay more attention to because that's where we could get potentially a more explosive move, especially if it's in the right sector, it's got a good daily chart, and the news catalyst is strong. So I think that's where my winners are going to come from. So I'm going to try to focus on saving my energy to take those trades with bigger size and not get caught up kind of over trading stuff that doesn't have the potential to give me that kind of winner. So that's my thought right now going into, you know, tomorrow. Again, I'm thrilled to see this type of momentum in the market today. is, $21,000 day, which would be the best day of the month, if it weren't for those 3 days on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which were 135 and 40,000. So if not for those 3 days, today would be the best day of the month. Today's a little bit of a smaller green day versus the previous ones, but usually Mondays are a little slower because we're kind of getting our bearings and sort of adjusting and figuring out, okay, what's going to be strong and, how are traders feeling, what's sentiment like, and everything else. September, I was up 81,000. Biggest green day looks like 11,000. So, then we go back to August, and August was a great month. $171,000 in profit. Biggest single green day, 30 grand. That's a nice day. Another one of 24,000. Those happen to also be Mondays. So a couple nice days in August, and then July, two $40,000 days. Those 2 days right there, and then $22,000 day. So when it's hot, these winners get clustered together. And right now, I feel like we're in a little bit of a hot streak, and I want to keep my confidence, and I want to kind of keep myself like at the top of my game, so I can come in tomorrow and take another strong trade and just keep kind of adding to this profit. So I don't want to overtrade, don't want to give back profit, just want to focus on the highest quality setups, the highest quality stocks with the best quality setups. But right now, I think that's the biggest thing for managing risk is the quality of the stock. And naturally, stocks with news are going to be better than stocks that don't have news. So, I generally feel that way. We may see some without news that make big moves, and I'll probably trade them if they're really volatile, but I'm going to feel more confident if the stock has news. So that's the game plan. I hope you guys had a great day. If you did, let me know in the comments how you did. If everything I'm sharing with you is helpful and is interesting, I hope you hit that thumbs up. I hope you subscribe to the channel. If you want to join me for the next 2 weeks, you can watch over my shoulder. You can use the same scanners that I'm using, the same charts, the same news feed, and you can see what it's like to be part of this community. It's a very interesting time in the market because we've got this kind of heightened volatility and momentum. So it'd be a great time for you guys to watch over my shoulder for a little bit. So check out that 2-week trial. Link will be posted in the comments and in the description. And I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'll be streaming by 7 a.m. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Reminder as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so manage your risk, take it slow, and always practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line.